What's up, everyone? John Reitinger from Techno Buffalo here. I've had a lot of questions about the new iMacs, particularly about the Core i7 processor and the solid-state drive and whether or not those upgrades are worth the price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it head-to-head with my older, about 3.5-year-old iMac. It's got a 2.94 Intel Core 2 Duo chip. It's got 4 gigs of RAM. It was pretty loaded back in the day. The new one here's got a Intel Core i7. It's got 8 gigs of RAM, and it's got a relatively new ATI Radeon graphics card. So, sort of to keep things fair, the iMac on the left has a fresh install of OS X on it, and the new iMac on the right is still only about 2 weeks old, so pretty fresh. First, let's go ahead and do a boot up and see if there's any sort of speed difference here. I'm going to go ahead and try and turn both these on at the same time and see if we can tell a difference. Alright, so they're both turned on. And see if one boots quicker. The iMac boots off its solid-state drive, not the 2 terabyte spinning drive that it has in there as well. All the operating system and applications come from the hard drive itself. And you can see a difference between the screens. The screen on the iMac on the right, the new one, is much brighter. There it is, already booted up and ready to go. The iMac on the left is still loading. This is one of the areas where I really noticed the difference, is speed and boot up time. The other area which I'll show you is video import time. Is significantly improved on the new iMac. On the older outgoing model here, if I want to import a video that was, say, 5 minutes into iMovie, and there it goes, it just loaded. That was about 5 minutes into iMovie. The import time would take about 8 or 9 minutes. On the new iMac, import a 5-minute clip takes generally about 45 seconds to a minute. So when you do as much video as I do, that time really adds up. So those two things have definitely been worthwhile. Video export time, the difference is not that much. So exporting a 5-minute edited and rendered clip in 720p would take maybe about 14 to 15 minutes on the outgoing model. On the newer model, that's cut down by about 4 or 5 minutes, and generally would probably take about 7 or 8 minutes to render. So it is definitely quicker. Alright, so we've got both of them up here and loaded. Let's go ahead and see how they do loading some applications. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and launch some like applications here and see if there's any sort of difference. One kind of funny thing, I'm giving this old iMac to my parents, and you can notice they are probably one of the few people in the world that still use AOL, like the actual AOL software is what they're used to. So I did a fresh install and put this on here for them. I just thought it was funny that they're probably the 4 people on the planet still using AOL. So let's go ahead and open up some popular applications. Let's start with Firefox and do that on each. Get it set right here and both at the same time. We'll go ahead and see if there's a difference loading up the browser. So loaded up certainly much quicker on the newer iMac. Still going here, and now it's done. We'll go ahead and quit that. We'll quit it here too. Let's go ahead and open one of the iLife applications. Let's go ahead and launch something like iMovie. Actually, I did not install iLife on this computer for my parents. Let's go ahead and launch something different. Let's launch Microsoft Word, which relies on a bit of older, the Rosetta type architecture. Let's go ahead and open both of these and see if there's any sort of noticeable difference. So immediately the splash screen shows up much quicker, and now it's loaded here on the new iMac, and it's still loading on the older one. There it goes, and now it's loaded on both. Go ahead and quit that. Let's go ahead and try, let's say, one more application. Let's try something simple like, how about the calculator? So actually, you know what, let's try Dashboard and see how quickly or slowly something like Dashboard is going to load. So go ahead and grab it here. It's already right here, and we'll see if this is any difference. So about the same, pretty quick on each. This is a very unscientific test to really show if there's any difference between these two computers. I can tell you, and you sort of see it right here, that everything that happens on the new iMac is just faster. The video rendering times are really what was important to me, importing and exporting. With the amount of video that I do, being able to save 5, 6, 7, 8, sometimes upwards of 10 minutes per video, putting up 2 videos per day is 20 minutes per day, really does add up, certainly over the course of weeks and months. Especially having the space as well. You guys may have heard I've lost a few external hard drives, being able to back up redundantly, and I'll be able to back up on the 2 terabyte drive here, and have it stored on an external drive is absolutely fantastic. Also, a lot of people have been asking too about the new iMac, how it works and how it looks with, I'll go ahead and move this right here, and how it looks with the solid state drive and the built-in spinning drive. It really just shows up as two hard drives. There's one SSD, I don't know if you'll be able to see that right there, and that's where all the applications are stored. And there was another one that I named internal, which really came completely blank. It had 2 terabytes of storage on it, and I just been using it for backup purposes. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this comparison between the two iMacs and see the difference. For my folks, I think that the outgoing iMac is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a really fast computer for them. For my needs, and certainly trying to get into the Final Cut type things, I think the new iMac is really going to serve me well, and I'm very excited to keep using it. Anyway guys, I am John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.